How odd. Okay. All right. So that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. If they do it downtown, so we used to go to it every single.
Hey, Darcy, you're closest to the light switches today.
All three?
Yes, please. I like this room. Do you guys like this room better? Yeah. It's not freezing cold. Maybe I'll see if we can take it permanently. Let's see what happens. Okay. So let's go ahead and pick up where we left off last time. Oh, I also have other things to return. You just never have to work. He'll be here. All right. So basically, that was good. We're going to do some more stuff with MathCAD. I didn't put it on this assignment, but I think I wanted to return those. But I think that we're ready to do some other stuff numerically for non-soluble systems, which is, I think, a very good thing to do, and a good thing to be able to do. All right. So I am just having a crazy day because I don't think I brought any blank paper for lecturing, but that's okay. I'll use some lined paper. And is this light on? I don't want that. Okay. Sure, I don't have any blank paper. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. We left off last time, and we were talking about, I think we did an example, the collision in the lump of putty in the turntable. That was an example of a conservation of angular momentum system. So let's go ahead and pick up with the final concept of the chapter. So it is angular momentum about the center of mass. All right, so we have this sort of angular analog to Newton's second law, or Newton's second law for rotational motion from last time. So it states that the time rate of change of the angular momentum of a system is equal to the net external torque on the system. Okay. All right. And the thing about this is that it has a restriction just like Newton's second for translational motion does, which is that it only applies in inertial frames of reference. And I'll say, doesn't that sound right? That certainly sounded right. But guess what? It's actually wrong. There's another situation in which it holds, and it doesn't matter if it's inertial or not, and it's very, very useful. So let's note that this expression also holds regardless of the frame of reference if you are calculating those quantities relative to the center of mass of your physical system. So it also holds even in non-inertial FOR if these quantities are calculated relative to the center of mass of the system, whatever physical system you were thinking about. Okay, so this can be very, very useful. And let me do an example that illustrates it. You guys see, okay, it looks kind of like there's a lot of glare from this window. Maybe I'll drop this just a little bit. Better. All right, so let's do an example. We're going to do an example that's basically this. So I've got like a pen, and then I go doink, and that. All right, so we can try that again if you want to see it again. Oh, wow. That did something, didn't it? Okay. All right, that's it. That's what we're trying to do. All right, so we are going to call this problem the sliding and spinning dumbbell. And so what I mean by that is kind of like what I just illustrated with this pen. It's going to slide along in terms of its center of mass, and it's also going to rotate. You guys might want to notice that the center of mass of this pen is not exactly its geometrical center, it's more like up there. But anyway, so it's sliding along, but it is also spinning about its center of mass. Okay? So there's not a rolling motion involved in this. So that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the part where it's sliding and spinning. You guys know what I'm saying? All right. So what we are going to have is we're going to have a dumbbell. So we've got two spherical masses that are both uniform and have the same mass. Uniform meaning that they have density is the same throughout. So another code that tells us is that the center of mass of these objects are at their geometric center. And they are connected by a rod, which we can approximate as being frictionless. The distance between the two centers we will call 2b. And what else do I say? I'm going to use a coordinate system. I may as well go ahead and label it. Y hat and X hat. That's my coordinate system. And obviously, again, hard to see, sorry, out of the page because it's right-handed coordinate system will be Z hat. All right. So let me write some words about this. I have a rod is massless, and the ends are uniform spheres. I should say approximately massless. Ends are uniform spheres. At t equals 0, the left mass is given a sharp tap in the y hat direction, lasting delta t. So this tap consists of a constant force in the y direction for a duration lasting, and on a time we're going to call delta t. All right, so that's going to be a constant force. All right, so we're going to describe the subsequent motion. And I really want that to be two different particular times. I want it to be right after the tap stops, and then later on, just at all later times. So, okay. So I'll say A right after tap, and B later times. Okay. All right, so that's the situation. So I know that my system is going to accelerate, and that's kind of a bummer because it'd be great to calculate these things relative to this point, but this point's going to accelerate, right? So we'll Newton's second pull. For this system it will, because it is also the center of mass of the system is the center of the system. So even though that point is going to accelerate, I can use that as my frame of reference because it is the center of mass of the system I'm studying, okay? All right, so we're going to do it. So we're going to apply Newton's second, and we're going to apply Newton's second for rotation. Actually, we're going to have them, both of those statements written in the form of kind of like the impulse momentum theorem. So, okay, let's go ahead and do it. So, for the time of the tap, I have a couple of things that I have. Again, I'm going to apply Newton's second, but I'm going to write it in the form of the impulse momentum. F minus P initial is equal to the integral of F t dt. And so if you want to name it, really, I guess we just call this Newton's second. And it's also okay if you want to call it the impulse momentum theorem. All right. Okay, so what I have, and my system here is going to consist of the rod and both masses, so that's why I did a capital P for momentum. I have to think about all this momentum. All right, so that'll be the total momentum of my system. Now, initially, my system is sitting at rest, so I've got this guy is 0. In the end, this object is only experiencing a force in the y direction, so it will only accelerate in the y direction, so all of its velocity will be confined to the y direction. So I can also write this, instead of in terms of vectors, I can note that everything in this equation is a one-dimensional, it's basically a one-dimensional equation, so I'll write that as P final y minus P initial y is equal to the integral of F dt, because this force is purely in the y direction. P initial was 0, because I'm going to say it was initially at rest. And this is all stated in the statement of the question in your book. I just tried to shorten it for what's written here. All right, so I have the final momentum of my system, which is the total mass of my system, which is 2m times v final y, is equal to, force is a constant, so it can come out front of the integral sign, and then what I get for my integral is just delta t. And v final y, so this is the final velocity of the center of mass in the system, is equal to F of T over 2m. This is velocity of Cm after the tap. Okay. Now I need to do something similar for the angular motion, because I just solved for the translational motion of the center of mass, but now I need to move on to think about the angular motion of this object about its center of mass. So, again, I'm going to start with Newton's second for rotation, but I'm going to write it in an impulse momentum theorem way. Okay? And in this case, let me take a look at my figure again. All of my angular momentum will be confined to rotations about the z-axis. All right, so it's going to rotate this away. All right, so that means about the negative z direction in particular. All right, so I'm going to write this, that again, this is sort of a one-dimensional expression here, because it'll be L final about the z-axis minus L initial about the z-axis is equal to the integral of the external torque. Oh, that should be again. Again, that will also be about the z-axis dt. All right. And I can go ahead and just subscript that one z. That's really supposed to be a gamma. So imagine that little short things on there. All right. So initially the object's not rotating, so it clearly has no angular momentum. Oh, by the way, I should name this. This will also be Newton second for rotation. You could also call it the angular analog to the impulse momentum theorem. That would be fine. Okay. All right. So L final about the z direction. I know that in the end, in terms of its rotation, it's going to be rotating this way, which means it's going to be rotating with some angular velocity. After it happens over omega, and the direction associated with that omega will be the negative z direction. So I am going to have L final be negative, whatever the rotational inertia of my system about its center of mass is, times omega final, where omega final represents the magnitude final angular speed. Are you guys okay with that? Alright, and then I have to put on the right-hand side. I know that my gamma will be constant during the tap, and during the tap, let me go ahead and label on here where this force is occurring. It's right here. That's where the force is. Alright, so I have, during the tap, I have R. I have to think about gamma, so it's R crossed with F, where R is B. So there's my origin that I'm calculating torque about. So B times F times the sine of the angle between them, which is 90 degrees, so that gives me 1. In a direction determined by the right-hand rule, R cross F, negative z hat direction. Okay, so let's go ahead and think about this system. Go ahead and write an expression for the rotational inertia of this system. You can just guess one. All right, so hopefully what you got was 2 times m times v squared. Did anybody get that? All right, I'll give you more time. Get the expression, please. Talk to your neighbors. Okay. Tell them why you got what you got.
Okay.
Did everybody have a chance to talk to somebody? Look at you didn't talk to anybody. You guys go talk to Grant, Rocky, Dakota, Cash, Darcy. Share your expression and why it must be that. What approximation have you made? Oh, the DT should be there. Thank you. our expressions for our rotational inertia. Okay. Go back to your notes. Find the expression for rotational inertia of a multi-particle system.
That should be the last one.
Feel free to restudy your notes each day, rewrite them. It doesn't take that long, and it's worth it. It saves more time than it takes. The uniform series expression is not relevant because we're not rolling. Spheres are not rotating about their axis.
If you substitute this expression, that's more almost all of the area.
Basically, would raise the apple up here. Yeah, we are going to just directly highlight from our expression for rotational inertia of the particle system. So that this is not going to be from substituting from the previous one. Yes. But you should be very suspicious while you do it. Okay, who has found the expression in their notes for rotational inertia of a system, of a multi-particle system? What is it, Ash? Yes, go ahead and keep reading. All right. We have multi-particles That's our expression for rotational inertia. Now, in this case, it's kind of an interesting system because I've got this extended system with these two spheres and this thing here, which is actually massless. So I just really need to think about these two spheres. Okay, so I posited, what if this was just, about the center of mass? I got this mass M, whose center of mass is a distance b from the center, and the other mass M, whose center of mass is also b from the center. Could I just say that is 2mb squared? Well, you get to prove that in your homework. So let me illustrate where that comes from. So one of your homework problems asks, consider a system comprising of two extended bodies which have masses M1 and M2, centers of mass at R1 and R2. Prove that the center of mass of the whole system is at M1 R1, where R1 is the center of mass for the first extended system, plus M2 R2, where R2 is the location of the center of mass for the second extended system, divided by the total mass. Okay? So that's pretty much what I say here, is that you can treat an extended body of, let's read some more. This beautiful result means that in finding, I might let you put the adjective in there for me, because that is truly what I wanted to say. This beautiful result means that in finding the center mass of a complicated system, you can treat its component parts just like point masses positioned at their separate centers of mass, even when the component parts are themselves extended bodies. So that sounds like exactly what we want to do, right? We've got these two spherical objects, but their center of mass is here. I'll zoom in. Okay. But their centers of mass, we know the locations of them, so we can treat them like point particles at those locations, right? In our calculation of the total rotational inertia of our system. Now, a very good thing came up that I hadn't even thought about, and I really appreciate it. So, kudos to you. That you thought, well, what about the rotation of the fact that these are spheres? And if I rotate a sphere, then it has a rotation inertia of 2/5 mr squared, where r is the radius of the sphere, which I didn't even give you. Well, that would be relevant if my system was going to rotate this way. Okay? Then that would be the rotational inertia associated with that, but it's not. It's going to slide and rotate this way, and it is not going to roll at all while it does that. Okay? All right. Very good point, though. If it was rolling, that would be the rotational inertia. You just take 2/5 mr squared of the one and 2 plus 2/5 mr squared of the other. That's true. But that's physically not going to happen in this particular example. All right? So good job of coming up with that. All right. So now I have rotational inertia for this system. And I guessed that, except that you're going to prove it in your homework. So this is all good. And now I think I am ready. So I have that omega final is equal to minus b f delta t over I, which is 2mb squared, which gives me an expression for omega final of, oh, there's another minus sign here. Yeah, so minus divided by minus. Okay, so that's going to give me a plus. And my b's are going to cancel, so f delta t over 2mb. All right, so these are, in terms of part B, I'm basically done. This guy is just going to be moving along. Its center of mass is going to move with the translational velocity that I found, and it's also going to rotate around that center of mass, and I can combine those pieces of information to find out where any point on that object would be as a function of time, and that's fine. But then what about the answer? So that I've described so much in the later test, but what about right after the tap? So for part A, right after the tap. How is it moving? Well, I've got a couple things going on. What is that? I can't find it. All right. after the tap, I think I'm going to think about it in terms of just the left and right side. So mass on the left. Mass on the left. Let's see what is going on with it right after the tap. We'll call that velocity Sabell for the velocity of the mass on the left. Okay, so I'm going to have to combine the fact that the whole system center of mass is moving translationally in a positive y direction with a velocity of f delta t over 2m. And the system is also rotating this way, so that I'm going to have to algebraically add these two numbers to get the total velocity of this object. So it's going to be plus r times omega. So plus b times omega, which is f delta t over 2mb. So the velocity of the mass on the left of my dumbbell, and I can go ahead and note that as a factor now, I can do that, is going to be f delta t over m in the y-hat direction, right after the tap. What about the velocity of the mass on the right? All right, well, in that case, I still have the center of mass is moving at f plus t over 2m in positive y direction. But I have this rotation that is at that instant moving the mass on the right in the negative y direction. I'm going to let you guys finish that expression. Alright, so I'll go ahead and work on it some more. Delta t over 2m plus r omega in the negative y-hat direction. I'm already just calculating y components here, so with the minus sign here. The radius, the center of mass for my origin of my system to where this is b. And omega's magnitude is f delta t over 2mb. And the velocity of the object on the right, oh, look at that, is 0, right after the tap. Okay, and then after that moment, once the tap is complete, it will continue on, so I'll say for part B, after, so for later times. will have BF. I have to sort of combine the fact that my velocity of my center of mass is FLT over 2m, and the y hat, and that I have also velocity of points on the object, relative to the center of mass, which is F delta T over 2mb. Oh, yeah, thanks. Times r in the negative phi hat direction. That might not make sense to you, but what I'm talking about there is that, let's say I wanted to know about the motion, say, at this particular point here. It's at a distance r, and it's going to have the phi hat component to its motion. Now, initially, that's easy because phi hat is still negative y hat, but after that, it's going to change. That direction is going to change with that. Do you understand? All right. So I think that's all that I wanted to talk about that particular example, except that to illustrate that this is really something that we physically see. I mean, we see that is indeed the resulting motion, that initially this object here stays at rest after the cap of this guy moves, and then after that they continue to move like that. Okay. All right, so another thing that I wanted to talk about, because it is on the homework, that I sort of said, oh, I think we're going to do that in a later chapter. We're not. Now is the chapter. So I want you to remember that rotational inertia for a single particle is just nr squared, where r is the distance from, whatever point it's rotating about, whatever you want to choose as calculating that with respect to. So this is for one particle. And you'll have a homework problem in which we're just dealing with one particle. But let's say that you have a system where you have more than one particle. This would be for n particles. And if you have an extended system, then we have to do r squared dm. And you do have, so this is for a continuous mass distribution. And I do want to give you a heads up because this is the chapter where we're supposed to learn how to do that. I did illustrate one example for you, and one of your homework problems, I believe it's the last homework problem, will make sure that you have learned how to do that. So you'll be doing that on a homework problem. Just wanted to clarify that is indeed content for this chapter. So we're completely done with this chapter. And we're going to start the next chapter next time. You've seen everything that you needed in order to start the homework. And please read the chapter on energy for next time.